Welcome, everyone, to our Conversational Commerce Campaign, Episode 1. My name is Filip Sobiecki. I'm the head of growth at Quickchat AI, and it's my pleasure to host a guest who I think is becoming my friend slowly and slowly over the time, even though we haven't met each other that long ago. Meet Pierre-Olivier Goffin. Please tell me I didn't butcher your surname.
No, not at all. Thank you, Philip.
My pleasure. So we have 30 minutes. Let's be respectful of our time and everybody else is in the audience. So why are we doing this? Well, we at Quickchat AI, we pride ourselves in our AI and the conversational aspects of it all, not only commercial, but in this aspect where we also have Arsenalia Group. We know that they deal a lot with that and they have big expertise when it comes to WhatsApp. I know that my camera just went off, but it's back. So no worries there. Pierre, perhaps you could tell us a little bit about yourself and Arsenalia.
Yes, very. Thank you very much, first of all, Philip, for hosting me here today. So, very much looking forward to giving a little bit of a background about myself and Arsenalia before jumping into the topic of today. So, essentially, I joined Arsenalia as group business developer. And therefore, I'm promoting all our services in Europe, mainly focusing on the French market. So that is France, Belgium, and Switzerland, and also giving good hand and support to my colleagues in the UK. A bit about Arsenalia. So, in a nutshell, Arsenalia leverages the power of technology, communication, and people to foster and promote, deliver very exceptional customer experiences. So, we do this with about 1,000 people scattered around Europe. And the one, let's say, unique selling point or something that stands Arsenalia apart from the rest is that we have built over 15 centers of excellence around different topics to best serve our customers. This allows our customers to undergo a transformation journey in the digital realm with us. And at any point in time, depending on their roadmap, on their maturity, we're able to activate the different centers of excellence and make them collaborate to service the needs of our customers. We do this with over 600 customers today in all sorts of industries. So we can talk about fashion, luxury, pharma, chemical, public sector, sportswear and equipment. So we really cover all industries. And a little bit more about what we do. So we work a lot in e-commerce, but not only. We work in cybersecurity, space design. So we leverage data of the retail behavior of customers in the real world, and we translate that into data and how we can leverage this information to create better experiences. We work a lot with content. One of our centers of excellence is a content factory where we obviously leverage AI as well to foster productivity, innovation, and essentially meet the needs of our clients.
So I wonder, should I say something about QuickChat? I guess if we're on QuickChat's landing page and page on LinkedIn, everybody should have an idea what we are. But essentially, we are the chatbot 2.0. We are the new generation, the new technology, the new wave, and the new experience, because a lot of people have had so-so experiences with chatbots. A lot of the time it was like you're trying to get something done, you come with an issue, and you just end up being more angry after the chatbot doesn't help you, and you're just hitting the human or talk to consultant, talk to human button. Of course, I understand where that comes from. People wanted to have some guardrails and make sure that the chatbot doesn't go anywhere else. And of course, with AI, we got the gift of this creativity and flexibility, but at the same time, a lot of the concerns around AI chatbots pertain to trust, reliability, towards being able to confide in the fact that it just won't hallucinate and won't get you in trouble, as we've seen with some customers. We won't, out of respect, name any brands that have had some blunders with chatbots. You can find it if you Google well enough, but we will be able to learn about QuickChat AI a little bit later as well. But right now, we promise to tell you the secrets and the basics of conversational commerce. So, when we consider AI, it's very important for brands to feel comfortable right now. And some brands might be thinking, oh, we've got the AI Act. I don't know. What if I start a project and then all of a sudden I'm told by regulators that I should change it or pause it or rescope it? Well, the good thing is we came up with a small information piece from the AI Act, and I'm going to read it out to you. What matters the most, dear audience, and I suppose that's enterprise customers. There's 4 levels of risk. Unacceptable risk concerning AI, these are forbidden. This is like scoring systems for governments. There's high risk, which is AI used in critical infrastructure, healthcare, law enforcement, biometric identification. There's limited risk, where transparency is required and the user has to be told that they are actually interacting with AI. And there's minimal or no risk, such as chatbots, spam filters, video games. So, for the sake of this discussion about conversational commerce, dear enterprise customers or audience members, you fall into the category of minimal or no risk, with the expectation that you will cover the limited risk by simply being transparent with your users and customers that they are, in fact, talking to an AI, whether you have implemented that in your WhatsApp, in your website, in your mobile app, just making sure that people know that they're not talking to a human. But I'm thinking, Pierre-Olivier, maybe you can tell us a little bit why, who is this serving, who is this helping out, because obviously companies might think, oh, another regulation, but there is a point to this.
Absolutely. So, just briefly about the AI Act in general, I think it's important to highlight the three main actors, stakeholders that the AI Act revolves around. So, essentially, as you mentioned, the end customer. So, the end customer is essentially the customer of the brand who's interacting with the conversational commerce or the AI in itself. And it's important to secure their privacy, their data, and inform them that an AI is currently being used, and in this way, the user is aware, and that is the first point. The second point is for developers like yourself who are building exceptional products, leveraging AI, LLMs. It's important to give guidelines. It's important to give a structure and regulate how AI is evolving and how AI is being used in such applications. And the third is the buyer. So the companies essentially who are seeking and looking for technology, AI, whether it is for their employees or for the end customer. And for them, it's important that they are able to navigate in this AI space and select applications that is trustworthy, that they can trust to foster their speed of innovation and ultimately be more productive. And you don't want regulators and legislations to stop such investments because we know it can be costly. So again, the AI Act is there to support companies to move faster in a secure environment.
Absolutely. So the end users is everybody who's going to be using your product, whatever that might be, the developers or the product providers, that's companies like ourselves. And I would say implementation companies could be both Arsenalia, but could also be enterprises, because we know some companies decide to not use trusted partners, but we still recommend that you do. So now we know that you're not supposed to be scared of the AI Act. It's here for you. It's here to make sure that actually when you deploy any AI solution, it's something that you won't have to change, because if it falls into those guidelines, you're good. So we promised to tell you a little bit about the pillars of the conversational commerce, and I'd like to establish what those are, and then for you to tell me why they matter. So when we discussed this before our live stream, we established that number one is convenience slash accessibility, which in the world of marketing we call omni-channel. So be wherever your clients are. You cannot expect in 2024 that people will be finding your ways of support, filling out forms, going onto specific websites. No, you are supposed to be available for them in the WhatsApp. You don't want to end up calling your internet provider and figuring out if the internet is not working for 5 minutes or 5 hours, and if you have to go to the office or find a friend's house with Wi-Fi and so on. You want to be able to text on WhatsApp just like you would text a friend. Hey, is this working or not? And if you have AI deployed, it's going to be a matter of seconds before you're going to know, yes, apologies, in your area there are service works that will last until tomorrow, and you know what to do. Number two, we've established this personalization, automation, interactivity. So everything concerning our part of the world, AI, chatbots, companies like 11 Labs with voice. So speak however your clients speak. You have to be wherever they are and talk to them the way that they want to talk to you. And the last part being the decision support, the transactionality of it all. So expecting that you have to be as helpful as informative, but at the same time focusing on the sale and the conversion, but realizing that a lot of those interactions might be just information seeking before they come back for the sale. So here, Pierre-Olivier, please tell me why these matter when you observe the customer journey of today, when you see what you
Yeah.
work with your clients on. Why have these become so, other than of course they're obvious to us in today's understanding, but it took time to get there? So please tell us.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. So what I really like to do, as let's say the term consultant, when you need to advise, that's what the first step of our of our job is to advise companies in making the right choices, and before that, they must understand. So what may seem complex for someone, in reality, things are actually very simple. And if we want to create a link between these three pillars that you've mentioned, convenience, as you said, is can be connected to the marketing part. So any company that has a product needs to promote it, sell it, right? And by this, we need to make it accessible to the end user so that they can understand it and understand the functional, the benefits, and any other information that the brand wishes to promote. And so the convenience of that is that today users, customers want the information to be easily accessible. They don't want to take hours to understand something, so they want this information to be easy to access and to understand. The second metric, and if I put myself again in the company or the brand's shoes, is I need to promote my product and sell it. So support the transaction, and for this I need to be able to give all relative and important information that a user may have. And we know that today a customer A is not the same as a customer B, and in order to tailor the experience and personalize that experience to all my user groups, all my clusters, all my segments is extremely complicated and also costly. And so today, with conversational commerce, you're able to personalize one to one and create a tailored conversation, which is no longer mono-directional, but is bi-directional. And this is a game changer because as a user, when we navigate a website, we are consuming information, but it's not personalized. Maybe it is. Maybe some companies are using some advanced algorithms to personalize based on the cookies that they've collected, but it's not enough. And today, the game changer in conversational commerce is that we are able to create a conversation with our favorite brands, and ultimately get the information that we wished to support our decision making, which is the third pillar you mentioned. And so, how many times as a user, as a consumer, we go on a website, we navigate, and we quickly abandon that navigation because we don't find, because we had, like you said, a phone call. We had 5 minutes. I didn't find the information I needed, and you have that famous abandoned cart. Well, with conversational commerce, there is no interruption. You're able to continuously have a conversation with your customer, and your customer is continuously able to have a conversation with you. This creates, obviously, all those famous KPIs and metrics that brands look for, which is conversion, which is loyalty, engagement. There you go, that you are able to tick those boxes with conversational commerce.
That makes complete sense. So now I think we can talk about, we understand what it is and why it matters, but adding another why on top of it would be, why do brands go for it and why not all of them? So the benefits are rather clear. There's the enhanced customer experience, so you can feel like you're treated like you're the only person in the world, but those companies are able to do that to everybody, right? So we have personalization at scale. Of course, increased sales, because it's not just about the abandoned cart, right? It's about, even before someone gets into the cart, it's about the hook. If you can ask something, and a lot of the time people who are like disgruntled customers, they're like, they go on a website and they're like, yeah, sure, you probably don't have that. And instead of making them go through all the work and self-validating this negativity, if they just have a conversational place on the website to say, do you do this, and the answer is immediate, then of course you might already have a customer, because even if they don't go immediately for the purchases, they are still already hooked. They are already in your ecosystem. You can keep answering their questions. And well, if they never intended to buy, they never intended to buy. But with this conversational commerce, you are even able to convert the non-believers, let's say, the people who are coming with a specific attitude, and you can just change it because you talk to them like a human, instead of saying, here, read a leaflet that's a website, right? And better data collection, because just like you said, it's bi-directional. So depending on how the conversation goes, we can find out a lot about our user. And if the instance of the conversational commerce exists within some space where we can identify the user already, like WhatsApp via the phone number, we can start having some profile of the person. We already know, of course, being GDPR compliant, more about that person. We can start once again just having this flywheel of an enhanced customer experience, better data collection, better sales, and just having happier customers coming back for more and more frequently. So I'd love to hear your take on this.
Yeah. So I think we need to take a step back and analyze what is shaping this change. I think the denominator of all is the generational shift. So the more and more young people are getting more and more, let's say, are increasing their purchasing power. When these young people have habits that older generations didn't have, and the speed at which innovation is increasing and is so accessible to us users is shaping the way we behave, and it's shaping the expectations that we have when we have a need or when we interact with our favorite brands. If we look at the wave of the Asia, let me say, tech industry, when it comes to the mobile phone, we know that it's completely different because we have WeChat, which is the single source of truth, and the wave. This wave has influenced the way the US and Europe and tech companies are, let me say, um, using all those best practices to ultimately offer the best experience. And what do these apps have in common? Essentially, they are apps that you scroll, right? It's an app that creates a one-to-one conversation, so it's personalized, as we mentioned before, and you essentially have all your history in that channel. So if we take TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, these are all apps that have these three points in common. You scroll, they're personalized, and you have all your history in that place. And this is exactly what companies in the tech industry and are inspired by, is how can I create apps that are easy to use and that ultimately offer great experiences. And this is where conversational commerce comes in play, because you're not substituting an e-commerce, you're not substituting a shop, you're adding a layer on top of it all to help customers interact with brands and make their decisions where they are, whenever they want. And it's exactly what we as a generation, but many customers today are expecting. And so it's about adapting ourselves to this shift in generational behavior. And I strongly believe, and Arsenalia, of course, are strongly believe that AI and conversational commerce combined is able to solve this challenge, and is also why we are talking together today.
Absolutely. And I actually see someone who I think is your friend, Jonathan Woorman. I hope I'm saying that right, internet data usage to the max. So yeah, I suppose we're just getting some yeah from the audience, but online. So we just didn't hear it, but we just saw it. So we've spoken for 24 minutes. I think we can start wrapping this up. We promised that these content pieces would be bite sized and just good enough for anybody to listen over their lunch. So we wanted to thank everybody who came, but also invite you for our next episode. It's on the 9th of September, and it's about the do's and don'ts. We will show you some tangible things. We first introduced you, so now you've got the conversational commerce 101. That lesson is complete. But
Okay, I believe the internet. All right. Well, I'll try and wrap it up quickly for those who are still connected. Apologies for the small technical issue, but what Filip was indeed inviting you to join us in on the 9th of September, where we will be hosting the second episode and going into some concrete examples, some do's and don'ts. And in the comments, you are able to find our website. And also, we've created a landing page about this, about the topic of conversational commerce. There is actually an AI assistant which is simulating this experience that you can use to inform yourself more about conversational commerce. So we invite you to go look at the comments, click the link, and if you have any questions, please reach out. Thank you very much.